Salutations, my name is Summer and this is Cozy Reading with Quaker Cats. And sorry about this lighting, I meant to do this earlier and I was so tired. And I took a nap and I just woke up and now it's dark outside. And tomorrow I have to take my little guy to the vet, so I don't know how long I'm going to be. I don't know if I'm going to have time to do this video tomorrow. And I was really wanting to do a book tag, so I'm doing this a little early. This is talking about March. I want to do my first read-along, like hosting, but I have no idea what I'm doing. So I'm hoping Angie at Literary Labors helps me along. I don't know. Somebody's in a box somewhere if you hear a noise. Yeah, so March, there's so much going on, so many different read-alongs, and I'm going to go over ones that I know and talk about what I'm reading or what I plan to read. So first things first, for March of the Mammoths, I want to read The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexander Dumas. Like I said, I hope Angie over at Literary Labors is reading this with me. And there's two others that had mentioned in the past that they might be interested in reading along, and that's Deanna at Pato the Reader and Amy at Zoe Beck. So if you guys are still interested, Angie and I were messaging last night about how many, the page count and how we plan to get it done. So if you read 40 pages a day, you can get this book read in the month. But I like to read more than one thing at a time. And there's so many different read-alongs, read-a-thons happening. So I was thinking, and Angie had, we're both kind of like, whatever. But we were talking about how if we do 20 pages a day, then we can read it in March and April and make it a 2-month read along. And then there's really no pressure. 20 pages is a lot less than 40 and also the pages, that's the print. It might look like it's big to you, but it's not. It's really tiny print. It's the same size print as my War and Peace. And I'm finishing War and Peace this month. I have maybe 400 pages left to read of it. And I'm really sad about it. I had a question for everybody. And then I'll get back to this and about the Read-A-Thons. So I was never a fan of Gone with the Wind. But my mom and my sister, they love that book. I noticed that other books, Margaret Mitchell, she only wrote that one book. But all of a sudden we had Scarlet, written by somebody else. And then we have Rhett Butler's People. And I think there was a book based on one of Scarlet's slaves, I think. But I never read any of them because I wasn't a fan of Gone with the Wind. Are there any books like that for War and Peace? Because, okay, here's an example. Last year, I was reading The Elfstones of Shannara by Terry Brooks. And so much in it reminded me of J.R.R. Tolkien and the Lord of the Rings trilogy and The Hobbit. And I was thinking, for those people who love J.R.R. Tolkien, they will really enjoy these books because it's so much of the same type world, and there is a character that is exactly like Gollum. Even like the back history and everything is like Gollum, except for he's really hairy instead of how Gollum was. So I was wondering, are there any books, does anybody know of any books out there that are like War and Peace? Because I'm going to really miss Pierre and Prince Andre and Prince Andre's sister, Maria or Maria. She has a couple different names. Yeah, I'm really going to miss those characters after I finish it this month. When you had a book in bed with you and you've been reading a couple pages every night for the past, I don't know, when did I start it? September, October? It's been a long time since I've had it with me. So I'm really going to miss that world. And I thought it'd be so great if there was something else out there that played off of War and Peace. So let me know. Okay, back to the March of the Mammoths. It is my favorite readathon of the year. It is hosted by Jason at Old Blues Chapter and Verse. If I mention anybody, I will be linking their channel down below so you can find out all this information from somebody who knows more. Also, Alex at Big Al Books and Lukas at A Cruel Reader's Thesis. So if you're interested in March of the Mammoths, it's basically just having you start reading a book that's over 800 pages that's been sitting on your shelf waiting for you to pick it up. So, and yeah, they say, oh, you don't have to read it in the month's time. It's just the point of picking up those big mammoth books. Okay, then we have March Mystery Madness, and I believe the main host is Elizabeth at Lizziefaye Loves Books. There are so many co-hosts, and there's so many prompts. They're on Discord. They have a Goodreads book club page, whatever. I'm not really participating that much, really, but there are 2 books that I plan to read in March that are mysteries. So one of them is, this is book 4, The Essence of Malice by Ashley Weaver. I really enjoy her. And then this is a new to me author. I picked up a bunch of Nevada Bar at a thrift store last summer. And so hopefully I like her since I have maybe 4 or 5 of her books. So this is Track of the Cat, and it says that Anna Pigeon is the main character, and she's a park ranger, and she's patrolling the remote West Texas backcountry. And anything about Texas, I get excited about. So, plus she's a park ranger, which is like the coolest thing ever. Okay, so I talked about this. If anybody is interested in reading, like if they have planned to read this for March of the Mammoths and they want to do a read-along with us, just let me know. I think I'm going to try to set something up like a Voxer group. So, yeah. I've been really looking forward to it, and so many people say it's just a huge adventure story and that you can fly through it, and so we might read it faster than we think. But I do really like the idea of doing 20 pages a day, just in case we have certain days where we can read more and other days that we can't, and I don't want anybody being stressed out about it. So, okay. Then we have, 2019 and 2020, we had the Irish Read-A-Thon. I don't know if they're doing it this year. I believe Elaine Howland, and I'll link her channel now. She still has a channel. She's still making videos, but I haven't seen anything, and it is still early. But I haven't seen anything about the Irish Read-A-Thon. If she does it, Angie over at Literary Labors, she said that she would try to choose the book club book. Angie is one of the hosts for Bitter Single Ladies Read Romance, and I follow that book club. So she said she would try to pick an Irish romance for that month, which sounds fun. So also we have Middlegrade March, and I didn't think I would participate in that because I'm not really big on reading middle grade. Sometimes I'll read middle grade if I think my niece might like it, and I think, and I want to try it out. But I looked at my shelf, and I do have quite a bit. I had about 5 books that were middle grade. So I picked this one up, and it's a French name, so I will probably mispronounce it. The Tale of Despereaux, and it's by Kate D. Camillo, maybe. I'm not for sure. So I have no idea what this is about. The back says nothing to tell you about the story. It's just what people think about the book, which I don't read. But it has this cute little mouse. And I will tell you, I don't care about awards unless it's in Newbery. And I've never been let down by a Newbery Award winning books before. And I believe that is hosted by Krista at Books and Jams. So and I don't believe she has announced it yet, but I'll link her channel down below because that could be happening at any minute. And maybe she has and I missed it. That could happen too. So there's 2 books that I want to talk about. Rick McDonnell. So I don't want to forget about my Booktube spin. An Equal Music by Vikram Seth. This book I'm supposed to read in February and March. And I'm only on page 10, so I don't really know about the world yet. But I don't know. I'm excited about it, and it's been being pushed aside right now for other things because I think it's because I know I have March too, but I really would like to get on this and get quite into it so that way when March comes, I'm not like, oh no, I forgot about my Booktube spin book. And thank you, Rick. That was so much fun. I met so many different new Booktubers through the Booktube spin. Something else that he's doing that I'm failing is he's doing a read-along for Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn series. There's 4 books in the series. This is the first book. So this book is what you're supposed to read in January. I'm on page 6. And then this month, I have it on, oh no, the second book I have upstairs. But anyway, sorry, Rolo's hitting the stand. I have all 4 of them. By March, I should be on the 3rd one. I doubt if it happens just because I'm reading other things. And I think also I've been putting this off because you know how, well, number 1, I read Words of Radiance and I've kind of been like in that world. And I know when I move into this one that it takes a while to learn the world and the magic system, if there is one, and the characters and all that stuff. So I've kind of been putting it off because, excuse me, I've been thinking, do I have the energy to get into this right now? And most of the time I pick up something else. But I know that when I get into this, I just think it's going to be so wonderful. So I'll link Rick's channel down below because this is something that he's doing and making videos for right now. And the last thing, oh no, there's a couple things I want to talk about, but I won an ARC, Finding Freedom by Erin French, and my lighting is really bad right now, but this is a beautiful book, and it's her memoir, and I hadn't heard of Erin French before, but this is an ARC, and it comes out in April, so I'd really like to read it and let you guys know if I really liked it, if I didn't, all that jazz. So, okay. I also want to mention at Kelly's channel, Books I'm Not Reading. I'm going to link a video down below that she made yesterday or the day before. It's about Booktube events. And I was so happy. Thank you so much, Kelly, for making that video. Because it's easy to forget. Number 1, I'm new to Booktube. I started making videos last July. So I still don't know what I'm doing or what's going on. And, you know, people miss out on a lot of events going on because we just don't know about them. So I was really happy that she had uploaded that video. And let me see, what was I going to say? Oh, it's easy to forget that I'm just in this little tiny corner of Booktube. I was watching a live show a couple days ago, and I did not recognize any of the people in the live stream, like all the different channels and people. And I thought, wow, this is a completely different section of Booktube. And a lot of the people they loved horror, and so they were talking about horror books and stuff, and I thought, oh, okay. Because I always say I don't like horror. I don't read horror very often, but I do love Stephen King, and he's considered horror, but I don't feel like he's really horror. And I do not know what the cats are doing. If you hear banging around, that's them. I think they're running up and down the stairs or something. Okay, so if you're interested in the read along for the Count of Monte Cristo, please let me know. Just leave a comment down below and I'll get back to you and I'll let you know. Hopefully tonight I can come up with a Voxer page for it. And yeah, I'm really excited about this book. I'm nervous. I get nervous when I'm reading with people, but I'm really excited about it too. So anyway, let me know if you know of anything that I didn't mention that's going on in March, because if I didn't mention it, I didn't know about it. So please let me know. Also, if you have any comments about any of these books, I'd love to hear what you have to say. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope everybody has a great night. Bye.